And it is not by power, nor by might, but by the Spirit of God. In all these things, we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. Our God is a faithful God, and He will strengthen you and protect you. So, beloved, already enshira wo se wo wa fidie ato OK 101.7 FM. Yesha enadwumadi ase yede yenua ba eye PSC Esther ana ehyasie ene adwoada etwato wo bosome eduba koimu. Today is the last Monday in the month of November 2023. Today is the 331st day of the year. I got 28 days, not Christmas, also 28 days. So traffic is building up in the capital, in cities. But truly, I tell you, as I say, Yadia Sedama Yankupon, Babia Yankupon, Diabedi 2023. Hey, I fear. Otis will be a cassie, a more day, a huchre, a more day. And now we are not many a beach train. Come on, no, but some say to Kwaku, we are then out here on my feast. Michelle Sukua, on my Ekwa. Now, someone may catch and say, if I can explain this, there's no God. And until I make us say, in all these, we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. In Romans chapter 8, verse 37. Vodafone so much so Christmas aye be remi Vodafone a di kind of dada Emma amazing offer a year Vodafone cash special voice offer your mouth a year bundle of airtime I'll bet to media casa 200 minutes with only 5 Ghana cedis and valid for 7 days to all networks. It is a we use Vodafone now. Me pacho Vodafone cash swap dial star 110 hash. Never 5 Ghana cedis for casa for 1 week. Where a special package for Vodafone cash customers in Kwa. Yeah, don't masipi. Last week, Muhu say you were bunting, now you were Achimotamo, you really ne kopie mu ewo West Hill Small. It was very exciting, memorable occasion. Say your listeners, Eshiamu, ya chenia nature drinks, Echeniema, Emankofu energy. Enti yada Achimotamo, any West Hill Small for Wasipa. And he said, Mefa Kwenye so ada Miniaba Celestine Donko. Any graduate a year Councillor Charlotte Odro say oronso ebe bo adwumadi na sedani nyina enkoma Dr. Father Dixon say osoyemu ebo ayema yetumi di dwumadi no ebae say wote ya ma announce say ye che a brand new motorbike OKFM ye che motorbike this month ekwa wiye December ye che brand new bike na ye de beba besi adwuma manim ha ya obi a wutie adwumadi ahodo ni nyina no wutie ya ona ba fa brand new motorbike so we be delivery so we be dayo ye de chew bike na be 16,000 Ghana cedis by the be che etikoso aneti OKFM enka kabronya bra ye be remu ye wache de pi at the mom exactly a week today and I may announce say me ne papa bia we pie musa or pesa or stande a year 2024 general election as an independent candidate. In fact, 2024 a leap year. Now leap year be something dramatic, unprecedented happens in our political history. The year 2000 something dramatic happened. 2008 something happened. 2004 something happened. And 2024 BB Sambisi. Yebenya independent candidate bebre ewo 2024 about one so presidential no. Yebenya independent candidate Ubeka 2008. Now independent candidates. And to some come and to me ambaso last week. Na yenim pedifua kasa. Eti openia. Also, where PM say or person was standing presidential candidate for 2024 election. Controversies be by infonia a babontain say okra mask a etarinable. Na earlier no na who billboards be a Max be a kata obi anim. Eti nkrofo bi dwen se eyo no a. Eti nkrofo ka se intima we na ehye Max echi a ya hu billboards e bi wo takrade e bi wo kumase e bi wo nkran. Ono na ehye Max na echi na na. Ene openi wa ha ye ne betwetwe nkomo. I think say what you news mu say or say enye ono ene sa nipa no a owo Max na chi no. But the question is adenti na okra mask e wone bo ono so a unveiling ho as a presidential aspirant. Ye ne betwetwe nkomo. Nidi the Dr. Samuel Sapon Ankra. One of the finest media personalities may admire pa Ghana. Why Juma as a reporter, why Juma as a presenter, we're winning Ghana Journalist Award. One of the female journalists in this country that I admire so much, Odelia Sika Intiamwa Buampon. We're charting a new course, inspiring leadership in women. Mrs. Odelia Sika Intiamwa Buampo. Why Juma with TV3? Why Juma with multimedia? Mrs. Odelia Sika Intiamwa Buampo will be on the show today. And we'll wrap it up with Kofi Ochedaku KOD. And today's show promises to be exciting conversation. But my family about PSCA and Shasia. PSCA, Aquaba.
Yeah, Eja.
Menkuame dear.
Doctor,
Menkuame dear, Menkuame dear.
Doctor,
Menkuame dear.
Doctor,
me who be an amania.
Oh, Doctor, Miss me who are no many.
Dear Mamma J and Washasia. Adia Bakwaya Sonko, PSCA star home. Membo. Obi adin de minim ne wa ho brase afa wadwuma den de toso miensa wo ye obi a ade so wani pa utumi obi ya ade ma obetumi afra na da na sesa. Your human relation with Nkrofo is superb. Na best 2 years ni what the nsesa bi aba gospel music industry ni mu.
Praise God. In
terms of branding and packaging.
Praise God.
O 20th anniversary yehu they see Okrumba billboards across the country. We had 2 major concerts simultaneously, Accra and Kumasi. And the Akwenya and Impeja Bebre Aba having UK, US, Canada and so on and so forth. Afede Yahu say a brand like Flora Tissue a partner with you. So my question is say now gospel no when we now amoye and amwanye na a school and na consultant be and advising because the way be no a gospel no omo the Holy Spirit and but where the meaning say only Holy Spirit na ya because as a motonia ma wom na Holy Spirit so there on tonia ma as was some gospel na ni so
Dr. Mbacho me da se pa ma menchia watiefo nyina em se se de wo kan sa na tie pepepe na em se abrabo no nipa wo nsua de no na chese sa nipa no ompeso be ko nanim wade bia wo yemu minim sese de tie bia bibia usua ubehu ebre bia atwa mu na social media no ya de bia na ye nhada hu mfaso a na ewo so especially me say kwa de na memfa me ho ngi social media de mu nti ebansa de wo ye bia ni wa enipa ehu tumi se wo ya de pa nanso no because of say emma badwam nti nipa bia ehu akɔwie se social media no eye place bia I mean, say, Obo Homodin ye bibia, and ready to me a faso, Emma also so wabrabono etimi a conkain, and what a dear beer we. Trust me, say, we ye na we ye ni ya. We ye nasa we ye ni ya, and faso be brave. ɛna ɛwɔ so
bebre akasa asofo since we Christian asofo bi akasa afa social media ho say edi nipa akọ say ye mu enti Christopher bebre enhwe omo ye entwe omo ho fi social media ho ba wo hu ne sa
Dr. Mbacho said o kana no krepa nanso so no ade bia no ye wo no ye wo ne papa side ene ye wo ne bonne side ho me de ene say mefa the right way no because me nkotena ho I mean enkodidi nkrofo atem me ntena ho emfa social media na nya ne ma bia emmoa anasa as Christoni no emfa animonyam emma ye nyankopon nti me de ene say I'm using it in a good purpose.
The year who and about PSC Esther na enkese esi 2008. 2008 was a major breakthrough for you as a career gospel artist.
Yes.
Unyum be hiti pa. Mentia sio mentia. And that year no nankese winning awards and near be ntumi nsisi. Ede na ba ye ma afedie o repackage ho a. And near ma nankese esi 2008 no. Esi 2022 2023.
Doctor say some way na madwene ho na mani agye mitirimu saa ebe nwa kwa so asabisa me saa question no the mensa nka about 16 years ago no ene Awurade adom nti no mensa aka aye this year we say la menti as time no and also nominating me for gospel song of the year and also gospel artist of the year and meant to me a winning mu bia and in about 20 years emuno and mabe winning the same category no gospel artist of the year no any gospel artist of the year gospel song of the year it me can say my life and also Christo ni bia no wa bra bone wa kwan hye radensa
enwumu amoye no ayana ye based on your life your personal life experiences ana
papa
munum dodo na a reflection of niema amukom
yes dodo na niema ye hunu pain things are happening in my life.
Uhwe enwum bi ti say ziba beko menti ase ene de ekeka ho no a na say woni obi anyamanso ase akutia bi na wo ase ase woni bonsam wo
me ne no wo fight den
eti eniema eye ma wo no hwe enwum a wo to
sana simo ayeye nyuli obi nyankopon yemeni na suna minsake eradimo mimawamo you silenced my enemies you put a smile on my face oh God you have answered my prayers eradimo you silenced them yes you silenced them they don't know how I made it yes Lord you have answered my prayers. Eradimo, what's it then you? Yemenina suama minsake. Eradimo, what's it then you? You have answered my prayers. Eradimo.
Release enwum ubedi adanse
yes sir
and now we win gospel song of the year we win Ghana Music Awards UK Ghana Music Awards Dubai Gospel Song of the Year Ghana Music Awards France Gospel Song of the Year Ghana Music Awards US Gospel Female Artist of the Year Best Gospel Song of the Year Ghana National Gospel Music Awards nijina last year Gospel Song of the Year and a Gospel Artist of the Year.
Yes.
And this year 2023, Ode Mo Enso Abba.
Yes.
Na enyume sign esifa eko so far.
Oh doctor, nse enyume de wan kasa no na wo share honkom dada. Da me no share ye wo interview first time no. Na wan kasa wo share honkom se mo national anthem. Na asedanka urade se etisa pepepe. Esan se enyume ne ba ye nche de. Nanso asedane ani onyam kan ya tiafo yankopon se. Baby abeko bia mo asori dan bia yetu mo I mean baby abeko bia wo pagya mo ano look as if say enwum bia wo hotetete obia ni menwom no to ma me kwa sometimes ye me wonwa nti me ka hye Kristo ni monyam se Awurade adom nti nipa nyina te ase se itwa se wo mawurade ammo esanse waye wo yie
sir ye nyankopon adom efi bibia mu a enye ye without the grace of God. It's the grace of God that makes us function. Nyankopon adom ene ma ye tiase eti ye nyankopon adom fi bibia mu a enye ye, but in human form and I say onipa fam no edien na waye sonko ama ene matese flora tissue and a sponsor our own headlining a show.
That's right.
I stand to be corrected.
Sure.
Our gospel artists, probably Diana Hamilton and Awake.
Yeah.
And my name is PCS star. A friend say Ohima Mercy. And Omutanya gospel artists be no programs are. Omunya sponsorship kese.
Yeah.
Say a time which. So tell us, saying away ma would me attract sponsorship from a brand like Flora Tissue.
Dr. Machome that's pa I'm say we see yinya media ni sin chanya because Kameka say you radiadum but I mean fa eno ento pitches ya de to wa enye ye yinya me wachire enye ye edin kan no you radiadum na etosum ye no so yankasa so yadwuma den a yeye esan say ye boy ye homodin I think say ye free say waye me ye eba ye no ye nhome ye abreni abribia ye adwuma na unse adwuma din bia so wa ho akotua esan say ye bo adwuma saa nti no no mahu ye se o ampa enkofu de wo musi ye adwuma si faidi ye feel say ye so masene a ami ye so ye adwuma no
first na kaneno nanka utai eshe and tomato there na bia say GTP say ATL but say say no designer foreign wear nko and also anointing adom ne ba say mo samata there na
Dr. Abeiku
see how the entire easy I said the mini we crowd the share why and then designer now she
designer called the mini but a ladies in collection and at the
PSA Esther second edition of Made by Grace concert. Ebaso a year on the 3rd.
Yes.
On the 3rd of December. A year Bosumi Ayebi Remuni de Tosumi Ensa. Ewo UPSA auditorium. Can one some kakrache Grace Made by Grace concert.
Dr. Machome das nyankopon ya duma. Eye kwasia da yi a ewo yanim ye.
Eye Sunday ebe ya.
Sunday ya ebe ya.
Coming Sunday.
Sunday coming yara. Ena yame ya duma. E Christopher ne Ghana for. E jidifo nyina Asia. Na eyi san yi a rade dia ye yenti. Ye hia na ya mawurade mo. Ewo eye Legon UPSA. Ye ka kire urade se. Ye ne a ebre bi atwam. Na ye sra nsa na ye di. Ye ne ye bank na ha na ye nie ni da so. Ye ne boafo bi. Enne ye den a ene ma ante se de netie ni bi. Ye mawurade mo. Esanse waye ye yi. Afimu ni nyina wo de ye nkwa ache yen. Woni wo fie, woni wo busua, woni wo dwumaifo. Se urade am mo hu ene na me hu se nkrofo start ya ye Christmas colors. Ewa dwumam ebia start ye brandi ye dwuma ye Christmas colors. E che se urade am ye tumi de ani ehunu saa edai a na e wo se ye hia na nyame ya duma ye Sunday ya ye mawurade am mo kese e san se last year and ye said the doctor now can conference center na ye kese ma ye kese e ma ye kese eti ye to ye nsafo ye Ghana man nyina se afi we nso no UPSA wo Legon ya no ye nyina ye motwi na ye nkosunsia kwasia da ya ebe ya time no by 3 pepepe na ye frase
3 p.m.
3
Sunday
p.m. sharp
UPSA auditorium.
Yes.
Ticket you're saying
50 Ghana cedi.
Oh, at that form power.
And VIP ni 100 Ghana cedi.
50 cedis.
Yes, doctor.
UPSA pa. 50 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
I have an uncle benya ticket ni bi.
Patchom say wo buy a Peace FM here Fondex here. On sabe to me akabi Joy FM so wo come Fondex wa. On sabe to me akabi. Saran so and na wo betumi adile eye number eye *725 star 2828 hash star 725 star 2828 hash na wa dial
it o dial *75 star 2828 hash. Odi mobile money ebeto. Oto a ubenya eye u ticket reference number. Na we screenshot here to udu eye UPS na de akire eno anu no na we rem. Na say uko interviews ewo joy.
Yes.
Any TV tin am say PSA na one ka say onko. Nanka oni e de nka peace okay adom on my no
what is wrong with that for me going to Joy FM?
Absolutely nothing wrong with
okay.
That the medium of language na omode twetwe nkomo no brofun kwa onyum nsu nka etwi,
but there is English version there.
Sika to Mrs. Sanyama. Eti enye won say obeko UK be hu na wo BBC na wo interview.
Of course.
Just say UMO.
Don't be surprised at all, dog.
Obetumi akọ BBC, obetumi akọ CNN.
I am ready.
Akọ interview.
Of course.
Okwa popo
you know me that I don't panic on what I do. I don't panic.
Wow.
Yes. The coffee.
Obi be say Obi the car na say agita. Agita.
Maybe you don't know my story.
Elizabeth Gazy say PSA Esther is everywhere, spreading the gospel. Bismarck Che, all road leads to UPSA auditorium. Eye kwesi adebe. Mo eye national anthem. Esa otiase. Me pacho dial star 725 star 2828 hash. Neto tickets is here. Ajontofo ben na beka ho kwasi adai e wo UPSA auditorium.
Dr. Bachi Nyankopɔ ya duma me nom ye daughters of glorious Jesus. Yesu ya no moba. Kofi Osu Pepra ba Perez Music ba Celestine Donko ba Nasi Bianca engineer papa Nasi ba Joyce Blessing ba Mavis Asante ba Celestine Donko so Yesu ya duma ono so ba na wan kasa ye Dr. Abeiku Santana so yes you had or represent it live and color. Yes.
Live and color.
Yes.
Yeah, who said now saying only secular artists be a tie a we free pa as a secular artist ni be and you fine pa as a one no na mo ba unya collaboration with secular artists abeye.
Oh, for now, dear dog. For now, dear, mean sure that enwini bibi sa ho because ne sentence say Ghana Christopher no be brain no no. Yen sure that ente enyema bi ase.
Nti ukoye sa pe na ko.
Na omo beba so but nka boni bi ani ho na so.
Na ana wan frɛ Cecilia Mafo. Wan frɛ Cecilia Mafo. Wan frɛ brother Same.
Yeah.
One friend evangelist Dana Samwa and amunya on for
oh omunyina ye menamfo omuso kuta nwosra foforo kra rade de adom wom na so un se adwuma no edrume bi a ye dosu bebre ya na akoye bibia wo honti na wo se
na time no susu
sanity
yo enkrofo se de aye de I say o qualify for artist of the year nomination.
Amen.
Artist of the year.
Amen.
Artist of the year.
Amen.
So last year wunya nomination. Artist of the year. And na omodema Black Sheriff.
Yes sir.
This year say Yankopon ya adom a obese nya nomination artist of the year.
Amen.
Wabo adwuma pa. And nothing na oye event of your own because the category for artist of the year no the artist must have had an event of his or her own.
Okay.
And nothing na wanya one kasa program. First now new program.
Debbie.
Who says say what do sa artist of the year category.
That's right.
And nothing na ma oye one kasa program no.
Dog Pacho program when they trust me. Said the year in the last year me celebrating me 20 years no na ye share said the results this year na nipa Nyankopon nam so esesa nipa no bebre adanse enyaye ene me feedback enyaye ne kire say omani be gye ho say de bia betumi ahia ne apagya wurade in fact trust me enya nunti purposely enunti na ye event
Pacho matwi ni brasa brofo ne ya do
enye botae ne
Purposely abemu.
Don't go say me chese anya no ne me botaye.
Okay.
Aha me botaye ne say wona awurade agye won no. Ye nhia ne ma awurade amo. Yes.
Any collaboration ebeba from outside Ghana? An artist be a onye Ghanaian artist will be collaborating in your future project.
It is my wish. So we
which
are
country?
Preparing for na nipa no ye share from USA.
Hey, one started from Nigeria, any Togo, any Kenya, any South Africa.
Yes, started from Kesiem.
And more must say feature artists from Nigeria no ebe chepas and Mike say. Yes, that said the next feature you know, a artist from United States of America on far Africa there.
You have answered my prayers.
And Crawford say your English is Englishing.
Silent them, yes, you silent them. They don't know how.
UK was massive.
Yes.
So Ghana
You have answered my
mo manenya kese.
Amen.
Mo to the whole we are say from
Praise
Lauren
God.
Eli. PSS no size from Owusu Dora. You better our CP. Kwesiada yenyina ye call UPSA Auditorium.
Yes.
For Made by Grace Concert, the second edition. PSS Daughters of Glory Jesus, Kofi Osupepra, Perez Music, Nasi, Joyce Blessing, Mavis Asante, Celestine Donko, and many more artists will be there. Get to be at 3 p.m. na oho. Or final words and they will be doing chat to crowd.
Medagana my nyina se san so much me odo kese pa ye last year nyesa last year nko ye mfie bebrebe amato nyum nyina Ghana fo omo kyerɛ me odo kese na Nyankopɔn ya doma ye kwasie da ebe ya meto me nsafre obi bia nsɔre ahodo companies ahodo se ye nyina ye mmom na ye nhia ye Legon UPSC na ye mawurade amo ewo ye nkwa ho ye mawurade amo ewo gye kese a wode agye ye ye mawurade amo ewo yi a wode ayeye enyi ho emfiri mu sɛ de ka ye no me patcho pe take it nebra nyame ya do e honman so that day no take it by available on sabetumi akabi ewo gate ho a sɛ wantumi anto sɛ de ye kan ya oba gate ho a on sabetumi aka ma me na eye floral tissues ase sɛ omo so ya sene kese afia ebe sɛ woni floral wo fia me patcho pebi doctor say me ba say no flora for him safi yes we be here bi wo kam pocket ya ma top chocolate so e dey aka ho
moye brand ambassador work no moye ni pa iti me ba beji ti fabre me wa na me
doctor me da say na me na listaro groups so ase me na Nesta Production so ase me na the Gospel 360 ase Footprint TV nyame nhira mbebe na onhira Gifas Herbal Mixture nyame onhira new life for piati
say floral tissue for no moye Indians and now moye Lebanese and now moye
so moye from Paris
from Paris,
that's right.
Okay, and so mon treat on kind brofo kakra enchiro mo na on do mas just summarize it, you know, wrap it up.
Dog me ko ha me no be ka brof but I say because of I na me tie for no say but I had your key station.
That's a Oko TV troka brofo.
Yes, because you know
the Bella Mundi some
that's right. You know Bella speak English.
Okay. And now only Bola so
and Bola too, you know.
Yeah.
So when it comes to interview, so anytime that I come in, when you interview me, when you interview me with English, then I have to also reply with English.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. It's Kwesiada, a UPSA Auditorium made by Grace Concert, PSA staff, Otto Safre Yena. I'm sure for up next, I am Koma Mene, a doctor. Sa Enkomo Chiche, na say baso last week. Na and to me ambaso, a man crofobibri, a bomechi say, Abeiku Santana wada da yen, Dr. Samuel Sapon Ankra. Papa bi an infoni ebeda bonten last 2 weeks, say, okra a mask, a tarinebo, na crofo say, some mask billboards are a chrome the new force and also the next generation enti na nkrofo anti ase enti papa yi ewo ha a ye ba betwetwe enkomo sesi a enti no my ensima ba ko pepepe na ye ne Dr. Samuel Sapon Ankra ye be kan na bakwasem ache na fe ye ne na hye enkomo na se ka che wonu abi se papa bi na ne phone be ba bonten last week se okra mask ewo ne bo a n'animu da ho no ono na na ewo eye max na ye dia billboards ewo krom na na waba be chemu se enyo no but the question is adenti na no kra mask etare ne bo eno ne the main question enkofo bi se ba ko ne ye cheddar ebi se enye cheddar enkomo we ye ba betwetwe na adenti na ye wo amanyokuo bebre wo Ghana amanyokuo no ewo tradition ewo family nanso omo gidi se omubetumi at the ensacheyaba 2024 general election, presidential and parliamentary election. A very interesting part because new faces are coming in. New faces are coming in. Enti sankomwe ena yeba betwetwe. Stay tuned. This is OK 101.7 FM. Abeiku Santana. In our studio is Dr. Samuel Sapon Ankra, an investment banker, a global business strategist, and a development economist with more than 20 years' experience in providing fiscal, strategic, and operational leadership. He is the Chief Executive Officer and Principal Partner of AIG Ghana. AIG International is an international firm in Switzerland where he leads the development and implementation of the company's long-term strategy and effective prioritization of resources for the realization of a long-term value and sustainable competitive advantage for stakeholders. He's also the chairman for Trade and Investment, International Chamber of Commerce, and director and partner of Kaitan Capital and Rampartness, Switzerland, both Swiss-based investment firms. Now, in Africa, Dr. Ankra is the co-founder of the New Africa Mobility, NAM. Now, NAM a fund for social impact fund for Africa, which was established to contribute and align its investment to give people a helping hand across the African landscape. Dr. Ankra is also the board chairman of Ngoya Extic DC Ghana Limited, now Onyx DC, a first-tier 5 data center in Sub-Saharan Africa. He has acted as the local representative and investment advisor for various multinational corporations, including SICPA, which is a Swiss-based company responsible for producing security inks for currency printing across the world, and the sole company in the field for over 100 years, and also has business dealing with Tata Energy. He's certified by the UK Financial Services Authority, that is FSA, now Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA. Background in education. Dr. Samuel Sapon Ankra, Nimfoni Abeda Abonten, Epiemusa, Obaba Bestande, presidential candidate, and say Obabe Jina, say Ghana for 1 to Aba Emanono. Numasuya Abakwasem Oshani primary school education in Kumasi and continue to Opokuware School in Kumasi from 1986 to 1991. And Okoni Secondary. He was the head prefect of UWAS in Oye Okatechi. After completing his studies at Opokuware and Ufi Ghana ɛkɔ United Kingdom ɛkɔ toa ne umasua so ɛhɔ no nya ne degree in statistics and management from University of London. Ɔtoa so a leadership program ɛwɔ Cranfield School of Management in the UK. Then later obtaining an MSc in economics, social science, and PhD in philosophy and social science, all from the Pan American University of Science and Medicine. Dr. Ankra Ekrane MSc in economics and PhD in finance from Universidad Empresarial de Costa Rica or de Costa Rica. He is also honoris causa from Sovereign Medical Order of the Knight of Hospitaller for innovative exceptional financial engineering that helped bring in functions to of group under the Sub-Saharan Africa region. Currently, a senior research fellow at Institute of Chartered Economics, ICE Ghana. About youth mentorship engagements, Dr. Sam Ankra provided mentorship to several young people, and he continues or constantly engages young people in the area of investment opportunities, education, entrepreneurship initiative across various platforms. Some of his achievements, earnings before interest, tax, and amortizations, growth on consistent basis. He has also established a track record in management, finance and economics, investment banking, leasing, factoring, oil and gas, private pension management and international trade in dynamics and changing markets. We're winning several awards, including Special Achievement Award from Guba, just to mention a few. His family life, he's born in Kumasi, Sadiaka, in the late, early 70s, to the late James William Ankra. Nani papa a mechanical engineer. And ne mame Felicia Duku Amponsa, a retired civil servant. Omufi Seche Dumase. He's married to Maud Sapon Ankra, an assessment nurse specialist in the field of neurodevelopment. Also Ifi Elmina, Neifi Elmina. And Nyankupo Shromo and Mami and Sa or Hail Ankra, El Ankra, and Tilly Ankra. Upper football, upper boxing, upper golf, and rugby.
Okay,
he loved music. And Kase Olestini favorite artists are Sarkodie, Shatawale, Kim Promise, and so on and so forth. Upper Enkrado Kno, any a fish, and a meko. Na uchucha pe kahwa, na nibeje hopa. Dr. Sam Ankra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Honorable Abeiku Santana.
And thanks so much. At long last, finally, the interview is here.
Thanks so much for having me. First of all, I apologize profusely for the miscommunication last time. And I thank you for having the patience and also the heart of forgiving to forgive me and accepting me here today. So thank you so much. Medasi Bibre.
Metiasi, I understand. Yejuma is sanity. Yenim Bibia to me see and Metra programs best too. I've done 2 television interviews which were not planned originally. And now no pay and say as I say Mitra a 2 interviews because as I say me koye jumebi or baby. And it happens. And yetiase now you better say when you're a bre amae. So Dr. Samuel Sapon Ankra, you are independent presidential aspirant, right?
Absolutely.
Not the war political ambition, presidential political ambition.
Debbie, say I have never wanted to be in politics, and I have never liked politics. But then I've been back to Ghana for a bit. I've been advising government. I've been writing policies. I've been criticizing policies. And if you look at what is going on at this particular point in our political landscape, in our economic situation, I think any Ghanaian or every Ghanaian who has what it takes should not be a bystander, but get involved in the fray and help solve our issues. Because look at even just, I don't want to go far. The 30th, our last 30 years, or the Fourth Republic, there hadn't been much change. There's been some element of development or improvement, but majority of the time has been just mediocre. And it's been one mediocre government to the other. Into looking at all this going on, I did a critical assessment, knowing exactly the consequences of what I'm getting myself into. But knowing, say, I have the know-how, the technical know-how and the ability to be able to help and turn things around. I did a lot of consultation to so many people. I mean, I was told, say, oh, with all the ideas and the policies, directions, and how you intend to turn this country around, if you are not in the helm of affairs and you are advising from outside, say, you've been doing for the last 10, 15 years, nothing is going to happen. Into making consideration of all these factors and guiding me to take this decision, put myself on the altar of sacrifice for the nation, especially the generations behind us, and make this move.
With this rich experience as an investment banker and a global business strategist, development economist for more than 20 years, let me say, experience and pedigree, apart from lecturing, minim sewaye. Any Dr. Baumia, said also a doctor in economics and all that. But I mean, economists, makasasa, you've been advising government, and a government no muti and no mudi juma no mufanye juma, and dasu we are walloping in poverty, we are borrowing, we are begging, and then sometimes even when we are selling our bonds, cry and pesi a betoni ade. At the end, ma ujin say, as a professional career investment banker, economic strategist, global business advisor, no, ube jaisa we aba befa Ghana politics or how we edi ato so.
And I'm saying, it gets to a point that we have to leave for something. Senkayen and your family there, I don't think there will be the need to get into this. But Ushe and Chirma Eba, the next generation, and the people even now living, hundreds and thousands of Ghanaians, youth coming from universities with no hope, the desperations. I mean, just walk in the high street around Jamestown. People are sleeping on the streets. Look, our situation is dire.
The problems we know. Obia Babeka a problem at China. I don't think Ghana for you name your problem. Jamestown for him problem Kufudia for him problem What specific policies, programs, ideas and I would they ba a bit to me as society ya sitting here to be my
excellent. And okay, the problems we know, but the execution we don't have. And why don't we have execution? It's because we are putting square pegs on round holes.
Is it just execution or the ideas that are sustainable, realistic, that can bring real transformation?
There is a combination of both. And I was going to talk about the two. We have execution problem and we lack the ideas. We're not thinking. When I get the opportunity, and let me state it here on record, that the Ghana assets, our resources, will be 100% owned by Ghana. No more royalties, no more free carried interest. We own 100%. Let me just give you a scenario here. After the Second World War, Norway was a very poor country. They were fishermen and farmers. They had nothing until they found oil. And when they found the oil, they told the British and Americans, say, look, we have the asset, it's ours as a country. We are not going to give it to you and take royalties or take a percentage out of it. We want you to help us to develop these assets for us as Norwegians. And when we start selling the product, we will pay you from the proceeds of the product. Years down the line, Norway is not just exporting oil. Norway is exporting the technology. Everywhere in the world you go where you see experts on the field of oil, especially the upstream, they are Norwegians. It took transformative leadership to get there. How long have you been mining gold? Where are the experts of Ghanaians in gold field, in the industry of gold? Cecilia, as a Ghanaian expert, geologist, is signing on a competence report. Falcon Stock Exchange, nobody will mind you because we have not built anything out of it. We've been exploited and we've squandered the money. It's about time we start thinking about Ghana. Our resources has to be wholly owned by Ghanaians. Not just Ghanaian, but the country. 100%. Same way they raise funding to assess and exploit these minerals is the same way we should do it. Number 2, no raw materials will leave the shores of this country. Why should we go into deep forest, cut timber, drive it and destroy roads we've borrowed billions to do, ship it and import it back 3,000%? Are we not thinking?
So the mechanical problems, there be a
so these are solutions. There are policies.
Okay,
there will not be any exportation.
Okay, fine. Do we have
on raw materials?
Do we have we have the raw materials? Do we have the expertise? Do we have the technology? Do we have the equipment? Do we have the capacity? Say you discover oil in large quantities. Say you will gold, in large quantities. Do we have the technology to mine, to process? Do we have? If we don't even go and borrow, do we have equipment to mine? Do we have the technology? Do we have the capacity? I mean, oil and gas. Now, I'm going to reintroduce you in our universities in the 15 years because we didn't know that we have oil and gas. So Oka said we can do everything without the expatriates. We can do everything and no raw material is leaving this country. Is it a realistic, solution to our economic, problems we have in this country in the immediate to, in fact, the immediate to short term? Say, see as a Ghana for to about amount.
Absolutely. I just mentioned Norway. Namika Norway, no man say they had the technology. They had to bring in the technology, bring in the foreign partners to come in and partner and exploit. So what I'm saying is that yes, Ghana for should start. No, you have an agreement. You have an exit period. Ebia, you confer the top 10 consortium companies from Norway. Mumbra Ghana, Namumbe Emebwa and I exploit your oil. You exit after 7 years, making sure you've trained and developed Ghanaians who can take it from you. So there has to be a structure, there have to be a plan. But a decision has been made that the asset is not going to go to foreign companies, but the asset will be used for the benefit of Ghanaians. This is what is lacking.
Ghana, your trade deficit, to mean balance here. And yet importation of raw materials is rather importation of finished products. And what are the finished products? Consumables. And they import ediba. One would have thought, say, being a trade investment expert, and you even processing our raw materials you consuming in the say shea butter, say maize, say palm oil or whatever. Not ye mining no awoka because I want to hunisika kesieno. What do you think? The major contributory factor to our trade deficit, Ghana DBI Dika.
You hit the nail right there. But we need to have drastic and radical measures.
Like the one that lawyer Katie Hammond is presenting a bill in Parliament, say banning importation of rice.
Exactly. That's a step in the right direction.
But the minority is of a different viewpoint. Say we don't have it. It's a good vision. It's a good idea. We don't have it. Osha poultry. You consume you Ghana ha. You need poultry manufacturing company to me produce even 5 million eggs daily. You need poultry beer to me produce over 100,000 birds a day. Dako farms mo shase ekosi senka ye support local industries enka ba be kese enani nyina gu nti poultry eba nyina ebi fi South Africa ebi fi Brazil ebi fi Southern America eneba it is a woka say ene ya yen take drastic measures say yendi imported enuane to say chicken and rice. Do we have the local capacity?
Excellent. Again, as you know, as a learned person, on Dr. Abeiku Santana, you don't just rush and put a policy. There has to be phases. But the policy needs to be announced. And what we are saying is that you have to phase it out, giving yourself, say, by the next 3, 4, 5 years, We are not importing anything.
Do you think Honorable K.T. Amon and the Ministry of Trade are rushing with this policy?
No, what I'm saying is I haven't studied the details of the policy, but the announcement of it alone is very important. I mean, how can we be sitting here importing toothpick, onions, tomatoes? And look, the problems we all know. There has to be a cutoff point.
But do we have any structures put in place? I was in Techiman last 2 weeks. It is the melting point of our food and cash crops. But Jenny tomatoes, ebefi akomada, and I would be fee a yet Techiman about baby duaka tracks a deba. And they said the peche a banner baby she at the good a friends can she na kwako shiegu baby a what is our new place ajenkotoku na baba be shiegu onum so yeah then you can say you be banning importation of the omodi ban crampo eswa enso Ghana for enso yen road network they call farms so so why do we rush a policy like this?
Like I said, planning a policy is very important. Announcing the policy too is very important, but there has to be a structure to it. We need to be strategic in implementing these policies. Esa ebe 9-day wonder. Yeah, ani atwatu ncheni asakofabium. Senior say importing certain cars, the percentage, the interest, what do you call it? The charges were up to about 150% for certain cars. Eventually, nipa ididani a year free hono because we are not executing or implementing these policies correctly. Let's start thinking through as a nation. Every problem we are having now is an opportunity. Ghanaians have to understand that we have to solve our problems.
What will be your approach? Is it building the systems infrastructure?
Absolutely.
Or starting with the policy?
Look, our systems have become dysfunctional. Systems that used to work don't work anymore. The world around us is developing and moving on, and yet we're still stuck with our old system. We cannot use analog to solve digital problems. We need to break the systems and rebuild them. Our constitution is a total reform, total overhaul.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I don't think you say it's a constitution.
How can you make excuses to say the thief the same time the policeman? We need separation of powers and checks and balances.
Don't we have that?
No.
Don't we have? Don't we have an independent parliamentary system of government?
No,
as a check to the executive president.
Absolutely not. You have the president appointing parliamentarians as ministers. That is a compromise on his own. Is
it not because of the type of system of governance that we are using that it's parliamentary presidential?
We need a total separation of powers and checks and balances.
So what kind of system of
ministers has to be executive has to be separate from the legislature, separate from the judiciary. If the president is appointing parliamentarians into the executive, it's a compromise. At the same time, the president should not appoint the chief justice. But a compromise.
But all presidential appointees go through vetting. We have vetting committee in parliament, and the vetting committee both the party in government and the party in opposition, and they scrutinize them. Some people have gone to parliament, they were disqualified. I remember in 1994, Dr. Spio Gabra went to parliament for vetting, and Obi Busano question said, did you vote? Are you a registered voter? He was then the Ghana's ambassador to the US, and on that score, he was disqualified. He couldn't become a minister immediately. So we have the separation of powers, we have the checks and balances there. Do you think in our current dispensation, what Ghana is going through, we need a complete overhaul? We've had amendments of some constitutional provisions. There have been constitutional reforms. Constitutional CI instruments are ABBA, yes, sir. America, America, the beacon of democracy that they pride themselves, have had reforms. They are in their 7th or 8th amendment. Is it not amending the sections of the constitution that need to be reformed? But when you say we have to totally rehaul. And I say, young constitution is it not going to cost us a rehaul? Because the Article 1 of the Constitution says that any law that is inconsistent with the Constitution is declared null and void. We need to adopt, accept. We need to go to a plebiscite. So you ain't changing constitution. At this current dispensation, where Ghana find itself lack of, amenities, any other, is it constitution? Yes, yes, son.
Let me clarify. Stating say it needs a total overhaul does not require rubbing it aside and building a new constitution.
So be specific.
It's an amendment.
Okay.
We need to amend majority part of the constitution.
So which part of the constitution?
We need to change Article 71 ex gratia and put a standard pay structure for all, not just politicians or president and the parliamentarians. It has to cover the whole. We need to make sure that the IGP is appointed by the independent body. We need to make sure that our national development plan
you think appointing the IGP by the president it has stalled our developmental process?
Absolutely, it's a compromise.
Really?
Totally. We need to make sure our National Planning Commission is autonomous. Number 2, we have a planning enshrine the constitution, like 10-15 years development plan for the country, put in the constitution, binding every leader that takes over the country to go by what is in there. Because right now, you started Saglami 200 million. There's no sustainability, there's no continuity. So all these to be recorded and run by the constitution.
As a development economist, Mamin Busao, His Excellency the former President John Dramani Mahama recently launched a campaign and talked about 24-hour economy. You are an economist. What do you think about this 24-hour economy?
The 24-hour economy per se, it's not a bad idea. It's a very good idea. However, there are certain factors or ingredients that are needed for that to thrive. I live in Trasaco Estate. Even as Sports and Splash that is status, cantonments, airport residential, Spinters and all these places, we don't even have running water for 24 hours. You have to wake up in the night and store water.
And you want to blame the government?
Well, I'm coming.
You can afford $500,000 mansion. You can afford $1 million. And how much? And necessity like water. You want government to in development countries now, Germany, Norway, and certain parts of Europe. Access to
private people don't provide water.
I'm not saying private people.
The water has to be provided by the state.
But but they can do it. They can decide to do it.
No,
if you can afford 1 million mansion in Accra, Trasaco.
No.
How much is it going to cost you to connect to the national grid of water, which is probably close to Legon?
Absolutely not. So if I can do it, how about the people that live in Nima? What about those in Jamestown? What about those living in Kasua? So what I'm saying is,
because government has a responsibility of giving access to necessities like water, electricity to people in rural areas. Now,
do they have it?
Now, Trasako, what to me are dying millions. More person are buying back connected water.
You are getting my point wrong. What I'm saying is, if as a country, a capital city like Accra, we can't provide basic things like water. Power for 24 hours. Look, we're joking. We're not serious. In the 21st century, and you are telling me that because a private man can pay that much to build a house, he has to take the responsibility and do it? Absolutely not. We as a state need to provide it. Now, the monopolies that the state is playing on these things like ECG, Ghana Water, and so forth, those are the causes. Liberalize these places.
Tell me your vision, your plan, and strategies. Like you said, execution is a problem and lack of ideas. Tell me the ideas you have on education and health.
Again, our education curriculum needs a total overhaul.
Yes, I reform it and come back to the British curriculum.
Not necessarily. It gets to a point in education where we go beyond just providing labor force, training youth, or training the young people to be just labor force for the market.
When you say education, total overhaul in our education system, be specific. What exactly?
I'm talking about curriculum. I'm talking about infrastructure. I'm talking about even affordability.
Okay, let's take curriculum. One, the basic primary education, and then courses, subjects, and would you say
no, that is elaborate. If I start going, but what I'm saying is, we should stop the chew, pour, and forget aspect. We should start introducing young people into thinking, producing high-level intellectuals who can develop materials, develop products, who can move into entrepreneurship, leadership. These are areas we should start developing our young people, because our system has become robotic.
I think the government here, in 1987, the then Jerry John Rawlings, president of the Republic of Ghana, at the junior secondary school, then later senior, to give skills development so that technical skills, vocational skills, and convert years and don't you think that we have that already?
I work in education. You asked a question. I've moved around almost all the tertiary institutions preaching leadership and entrepreneurship. I can assure you the curriculum hasn't changed that much. Our system is stuck with the same old process of doing things. That needs to revolve. We're talking about infrastructure. Even most of our, we call it Ivy League schools, Achimota, Pompey College, Opokuwari, Fansipin, they don't even have washrooms. What are we talking about? 21st century. And we are offering what? And look, it's about time we start coming together and have critical thinking and seeing how we want to move our nation forward. Status quo is no more an option.
I saw a blueprint of your vision and the strategy. You said you want to change the duopoly of politics in Ghana, the MPP, NDC. Oh yeah, independent presidential aspirant. Are you sure? Are you convinced deep down in your heart that you can win the 2024 election as an independent president?
Honorable.
Without a political party, without a base, without growing yourself in the community as a homegrown politician, knowing and understanding the nature of our politics. Is it possible?
Have we lost confidence in ourselves so much as people that we think the right thing cannot be done? How far do we
Absolutely not.
How far do we want our country to sink before we know the status quo is no more an option? Look at where we are as a country. Look at the numerous resources we have. Do you think it goes inside with what we have? We have people living in Accra who can't even have 1 square meal. And you are saying that because the status quo says NDC, MPP, so I can't change it? A time has come in our political history that we need to have this change, or else it will come back and hurt us so badly.
In your blueprint, breaking the chains of Ghana's political duopoly, a vision for real change, you enumerated, several, strategies. One, overcoming financial barriers. Redefining voter loyalty. The NDC MPP have loyal followers, but it is vital to move beyond party loyalty. And Ghana needs a civic education to assess candidates based on policies. Do you think, sir, Ghana for almost policies and more assess? Wow, say education in yet. Your monthly on assessment levels at this crucial moment to find ourselves. Would you say Ghana for better policy? I would to say America for no matter about.
Well, like I said, the time is now. People have to look for alternative policies. So what was the CIA? Na se unisika entodo kunukren dia. Now full say what vote MPP NDC. Na still was sitting with the same. So what damango. Na se ensuya onu na friends saying emponchini nenchini elephants ni ina benumbi. Na still after 30 years of voting MPP NDC is the same situation. Na se take it a different decision na anywhere.
Let's come to the hard questions now. Prior to this interview, na yehu a picture that went viral of you holding a mask to your chest and showing your face. That was the first time Ghanaians were seeing, an independent candidate be a Ukra Max Ebonebo. The mask billboards or the max, a friend saying, what's it? The new force, the max, the whole max thing, unveiling the max, a new campaigner, na yehu okrum, yenim who is behind.
Oh,
then we saw your picture going viral where you went. Then people said, oh, onune So this is the guy. I think, sir, what clear? I mean, there have been news. I saw it on TV3. Say almost clear. Say Dr. Sam Ankra says he's not the one, and blah 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 blah. And that was after the new force for the press statement about say they are shocked to see your picture holding a mask. When Ghanaians know, say, the new force, and I am back here on a campaign to get Ghanaians' attention of this mask. In the first place, where from the idea of holding masks to your chest, I would get a picture or unveil the bar bunting? Where from that idea?
First of all, let me clarify. The interview with TV3 was before the press conference. The interview was done in the morning, but they aired it in the evening news. So let's clarify that before they did a press conference, and I'm sure they're aware. Now, I was appalled, like anybody else, with the current situation Ghana is going through, where we have received so much masked promises, politicians promising us heaven and delivering us to hell. And then somebody would even phantom thinking of unveiling by covering themselves. We need transparency and accountability in our politics. We need to show face.
But what is wrong with that? It's a marketing strategy.
So I'm coming. I'm coming. So from my point of view, and then lots of people were referring to you. Oh, it's you. You are occultic. You are hiding this. So I said, no. My belief is for this campaign is a no mask campaign. That there's no hidden truths. Transparency and accountability should be the core of every politician's message to Ghanaians. I'll come out, So I'll come out openly, and being symbolic to what I was saying was why I held the Benin mask to show Ghanaians I am not covering my face, and I don't want anybody to cover their faces. Promises has to be transparent. Promises has to be clean, so that Ghanaians will not be deceived.
Dr. Samankra, if I'm getting you right, Obi in a campaign or say me the mask ashemenim ebreso me unveil na mo hu say we are the new force.
How do you know that?
Pacho me ba or say this is a strategy. It's marketing, and in marketing you want attention to yourself before you convey the message.
Let me give you an example.
That is a strategy. Pacho me ba, that is his strategy. Now onukra de or a new person or back system ni mo.
How do you know?
Yes, I don't know. How do you also know? So why do you attack somebody's marketing strategy?
Are we saying that there's no counter campaign? I have seen NDC pushing the elephant to the bush. Do you say that it's wrong to do that? I have seen MPP destroying the umbrella of the NDC in several posters. Are we saying it's not allowed?
You live in you live in the UK.
That is democracy.
Is this civic democracy?
That is democracy.
In a civilized country.
Absolutely ethical.
Destroying someone's,
No.
Is it right?
You're getting it wrong. It's called political comedy. We've seen NDC pushing the elephant to the bush. I've seen NDC using the MPP using the elephant horn to pull the umbrella down. It's accepted. It's democracy. That is the beauty of it. If we can't do that, then we can't practice democracy. These are all essentials, ingredients that we need to put into our body politics. So if somebody's going to get affected because I'm counter-campaigning theirs, really, then the person doesn't understand democracy, first of all.
Dr. Sam Ankra, so what's the name of your movement? Is it a political party or a movement?
It's a movement. We are the biggest movement in the country. Every corner of Ghana, you hear AFA, Alternative Force for Action. That is us. We are the newest movement. The next generation. Watch out for us. We are taking over.
Pacho, mami bi phone line na mi wi amene meye miniaba Mrs. Odilia. Ever talk about so 0302-243-529. Dr. Samankra said adonti na wo pese obeye omampani na o kata wanim eni na okofa max ne to ne bo say there's nothing to hide where you nanim wow so ready you anim But the new force say a more campaign creative strategy. 0302-243-529, 0302-243-547. And Komoinanka last week NSS Ebaso Nanso and to me Ambaso. Now we had to do this today because yes, Ghana for Ebo. Dr. Sam Ankra, or your investment banker. Afa alternative force of what? Action.
For action, that's right.
Alternative force for action. A new independent political movement. Almost so omaba.
The newest.
Yeah, the newest. It yebehu ballot paper so.
Ubehu Dr. Sam Ankra, independent candidate. The force is supporting my candidacy.
Now, MPs ubenya way.
We are choosing independent candidates all across the nation.
It ubenya 270 independent parliamentary aspirants.
Just watch the space.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Doctor. Good afternoon.
Me patron one eka say.
UK taxi driver.
Taxi driver. Yentiwe. Say what question be man for taxi drivers, sir?
Oh, Doctor. I'm there. I said I say Nipana Katane and I walk out. Doctor, they be a say. Oh, so who school never you because strategy is Nipano or they draw attention. And also for him to criticize and also on the own side of the story.
Interesting. Interesting.
The new force, they almost started there. And yet they are 30 years to come, a bit more penetrating. But for now, they ain't easy.
Okay, yeah, that's it. I say for now, they ain't easy, man. A bit of a tracy route to NPP, sir. You were once a member of the NPP, and also were breaking away from the NPP. Your tradition, your relationship with NPP, and why at this crucial moment, NPP per se a breaking 8, and I will go independent, Alliance will go independent. Is it not shooting yourself in the foot?
First of all, I have never had any party card from any of the parties. I have worked for both parties. And I have friends across the two.
You work for both parties?
Well, not working as being part of the administration. Mm-hmm. Like I said, as an investment banker, I've been advising on strategies, on financing and policy on several occasions.
In the current government, the day advice now their mom.
Well, I helped Howard Kumsin draft the Northern, the Middle Belt, and the Southern Belt policies. I've done, like I said,
Howard Kumsin.
Honorable Howard Kumsin, sorry, I should have.
Honorable Howard Kumsin, the Minister for Special, what? Is it special
development? I think, yeah, development.
So you drafted that policy?
Yeah, I'm part of the team that
You're part of it. And you think that policy has helped Ghana?
Well, if it had been executed, as I said, as to from how we drafted it, and I'm sure would have brought a lot of development.
So I didn't think I own joining MPP now on for a yes I change in the ember than to form your political movement now also independent.
We're running a different campaign. Like I said, the current systems have become dysfunctional. It's gotten to a time in our history that is no more party colors or symbols. We need Ghana to run Ghana. We want to bring and put a movement that will recruit people across board, have the whole nation as a pool of resources, and bring our best brains on the table to think and plan and build this nation.
Dr. Sam Ankra, independent presidential candidate, aspirant to Nyanya candidate to Electoral Commission, will vet and approve him.
I'm a candidate, well.
Now, until you come on the ballot paper, you are not a candidate. You are still an aspirant.
That is a point for what do you call it? But yeah, that's fine, whichever way. But I am a candidate.
I know presidential aspirants are disqualified, like Kofi Akpalu and Odike. I'm taxes and documents of and you know, you have the ambition, but you are not there yet on the ballot. To me, ballot paper and so what pass it.
Don't worry.
And no crumple victory.
Don't worry, you're talking to Dr. Sam Ankra.
I know. I mean, I don't dispute that with the greatest respect, but I want to call you presidential aspirant and not a candidate.
I think the aspirants or the hopefuls are those within the party that went through those campaigning to win. Right now, I'll say Baumia as a candidate.
They are semantics.
Okay. Exactly.
23 minutes after 5. I don't like interviewing politicians. Honestly, I don't like interviewing politicians, and
thank you for at least giving me the chance.
I don't like the reason why I don't like interviewing politicians, because if I interview any politician, trust me, in this country, it will be serious.
Good.
So politicians don't want me to interview them.
I know.
Yes, because me, I will say it as it is.
But that's how it's supposed to be.
Without fear or favor. And I'll always play the devil's advocate. If I'm interviewing NDC presidential candidate, I will play the devil's advocate. If I'm interviewing MPP presidential candidate, and that's why I'm saying that politicians will not allow me to interview them. So politicians will be said, "We're being power." Upon from an interview. But I respect, your depth of knowledge, the experience that you have, and the vision and passion that you want to also bring change. I think, sir, we need to embrace you and embrace all other candidates. And I make us a 2024 election a very, very interesting. So far, we have 3 or 4 independent candidates. Now, knowing Ghana's election history, MPP, NDC, difference in here 500,000 as we speak. In 1 million. 2020 election, a card nanka MPP Lucy 137 MPs. Presidential, Yanka Ibikranwi. Their constituencies and polling stations Yanka. Into the growth of our political discourse now. Ebeye den pass independent candidate on building who for over the years. Bet to me aba eden society aba offer. Sikai o my fam be adwuma bi Odelia wa ha oye program women or the women expo ba ye fa sikai shem oye investment way enti ba na nke diskay e dia kwa support young entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs ye the ye bibi before abeko kwesa will support Odelia na expo ya oba Odelia, let me bring you on even before His Excellency. For now, let me call you Your Excellency.
Excellency, me that say. We can do both. Mami Mao analogy bi ansana mako. Ghana was a colony of the British from 1821 to 1957.
Right.
Ghana has been a colony of the MPP and NDC from 1992. Everything is possible. Even at that length of time being under colonial rule, we got independence. So with this short period of MPP, NDC neo-colonial rule, I have fervent hope that we're going to have
the situation said 2024 election, yenya a clear winner who will get 50% plus one. Now we'll be here other forces abekan like we saw in 2000. Yenya a year great alliance. Yenya parties momoko supporte former President Kufuor and sana Otumie winning presidential election second round in the year 2000. So in that unlikely situation, eba na se be a MPP ni NDC na oye minority or numbers near small. Why now be through support?
I know the Yenyan wants to say, but we
are not far from 2024.
By a strategy, are you pushing? Say if we are Yenya resources and we are executive to the point that we don't need anybody, we may need maybe the smaller parties to join us, but we don't want to touch any of the two major parties. We want to have the smaller groups because it's about time.
Sikania the politics.
Absolutely.
Where are you getting your funding from?
Well, if as an entrepreneur, first of all, investment banker and a development economist, we can't be able to pull up a resources and a structure to win the elections, then we have to find ourselves.
Russia former Scarbeji?
No.
Okay, so how can you become a president when a major international development partner like Russia?
We don't want influence. Ghana needs to be independent. We can't even make decisions.
Into funding in Ghana.
Yes, very like-minded people coming together to support.
Dr. Sam Ankra, thank you so much for coming, and we appreciate your time. I can't wait to interview you and Cheddar, Nana Kwame Bediako, the real man behind the mask.
Is he?
That's what I'm told.
Okay, we see.
So, unveiling Hona se Ebana se Yonoa.
I didn't think he was a politician. He wanted to get into politics anyway. But anyway, people have their personal decisions. Thank you very much.
Always my pleasure. Thank you so much, Dr. Sam Ankra. Odilia, you've asked the hardest question than this one. So, men say, Sekrana, Jumana away and they say, Odia consultant, and no me kakraka. Enoch Larry King, politicians and Casa, the power seeking isn't to repair the nation, but different mindset together. Businessmen are even flopping. How more? I think some of the words are too strong. No, Doc, I need to take a picture with you. Said that over here, President Mecca was say, many will try a picture. Odilia will sit on that seat. Yes, that was that seat. Eti Yamfa Komono NC Adomna Yene Odilia and so Mbetri and Komosisia. This is OK 101.7 FM. Nanka yeni yenua kofi ochida akobetwetwe nkomoba enkomo no bibinti entumi mba so mamemfa adwade enkrato entwamu na yentoa so ayo family cover micro insurance policy abadwaso sisia na emfaso ewomu no die bebre tie ayo insurance free ayo Ghana intermediaries na de tie ne se wunya ayo family cover bi na se yade ebo na yeju to hospital ayo betua 300 and 3 million every day each night oda hospital na ma ayo family cover ma ho kwan ma odi nipa ensia ehye ayo family cover ne so obi a only 70 years from 1 to 69 years na sa nipa no ade ne be hye so no emfaso a wo benya say 300 cedis each night ayaje wato hospital sa nipa no so benya bi pepepe afi se nipa odi o ma hye so no ba kokura firimu ewu mpo a ye be ma 15,000 Ghana cedis we ene ye friend no ayo family cover eso obia so enti you use MTN dial *296# select option 2 na sign it up fama ayo family cover na embo ho ban se yade ebo ne ye jewo eto hospital ana so mpo firimu obi fimu a ayo family cover ahwewo ne wabusuafo nyina ensu otonso form ayedin bosomi asonsu botom aye dry na chese wodeka iti asese usum brode anu asum kwadu asese wonya bibi di support bibi enu nti na lotto bi aba ye friend game park game lotto sa lotto ye bono anopa 9 ye bono awia 12 ne ye bono anwumre 6 pm said ye didi breakfast, lunch, any supper no. As I say, utumi sika anopa ewia ne anwumre. Eti when dia anopa dia utumi dia ewia dia, when dia ewia dia utumi dia anwumre dia. Game Park Game Lotto. Eye lotto a ni die ye very simple. And one say we be selecting numbers 4 from 0 to 9. Choose numbers mako 4 a free 0 to 9. It would be a 0 copy 9. Ne numbers 4 no etwa. Dia tie bia bi betom. Inti dial star 946 hash. Ewo mobile phone so wo sika or mobile money mu a. Chale. So ni yeko. Game Park Game Lotto. More mula, more power. Lotto National Lottery Authority and a bobo edada no. Undi fie dun wo hwe amepacho mentwa bi. Akoma onion paste. Akoma onion paste. Akoma onion paste eye jene yayam no puka ediaba. Se ope jene edi aye aduane se wo de ye jollof na wo de ye nkwan na wo de ye shito na wo de ye stew. Ejibre afi na wo be hwane jene no ho atwitwa. Okoyam kra de a wo ni blender kra de na ebobo. Wa hwe ne ebi ka wani a aseniema. Enti bomodin say ukodwomu a wobehwehwe akoma onion paste ato. A quickie and tasty. Mwah. You're on 70 grams, 210 grams, and a 4 kilogram bucket. Kese chop bar the restaurant for akoma onion paste. Ya yam jene na ma odida. Blue Jeans energy drink. The name na awiane ye so kan ahwe nanim anajo. Ye ni energy drink bi a wo Ghana have vitamins wo mu sin Blue Jeans energy drink. Men that down. Blue Jeans energy drink and Kwane energy drink at Ghana have vitamins B2, B3, B6, B12. Who to be hospital doctor say we have vitamins. Oh sorry, I now no near maybe basa. So why a door na pesa ho ye hye na to me ye adwuma. They said the idea ho den kasa ye adwuma ya. And wanna see abobo ye Blue Jeans energy drink. Emma wani da am active for the bold and active men and women. What that best 8 hours still when you come. There be a near maybe na kobone. Joe Blue Jeans energy drink na bubobi. Now hun sisi unso. Afe kasa memem, kasa bemu. Ye juma uti joma. Yes! Ya no de enyo. Tonwa de fa ani gie fa ye wadwuma. It de bia we here Blue Jeans energy drink. To form for budget cash and carry limited. It was 020-812-8190 020-812-8190 and 055-00-10,000 055-00-10,000. Debia ya kase the good old days and ya papa bi wotetinimu asese ye san kofa the good old days na awofo nya time ma omma. The good old days. Na Saturdays, yeah, communal labor. The good old days. Now, obi di na de si okura obi amfa. Now so ene bone adoso eniema asesa. Ade ba kwa meka yesu no ne ye. Weekend pa o papa behwe se watwitwi osi ya. O ma me behwe se twitwi osi fe osi na mehwe. Ne ya ma wakofa eye chako ene brodi tire. Now de atwi osi. Sane ma papa na watitinimu na sese asan babio. Pepsodent akofa eye chako e de afra eye Pepsodent fofra ya ye friend of Pepsodent Chako White. And na wo kwa brocha ye de chako ye ndema bebre. Wo pesa wo se ye fita. And ye to Pepsodent Chako White toothpaste fatwi wo se na ma wo se shine. Ya sanso ye Pepsodent herbal toothpaste. And no bo wo se ho ban ne wanum ban se emfi moja na yi empampa boni bia emfi wanum. Every smile matters with Pepsodent. Kai say ubetwitwi wo se anapa ene anadwo a wo koda bia. Ubenya Pepsodent toothpaste ato e wo supermarket nyina mu. Pepsodent, every smile matters. Dia medi twatwo mienu na mene menuaba Odilia aba betwetwe nkomo Kunlun Ghana Limited edupa odiaba sa wo ba bia wo kwa fichi a wayase eye woya is not a good sign. one where a bit me a war and never quack of fat or how can say a bro dachi into your bar utie me say bosumi suna ubunsa and now we period any women's are now I say oh yeah stopping in term and sana dachi the problem bro a drebejo a Araba Banzen pills Ubusa University student will be a dear dance here say first in the nanka me menses bar me to me call lectures but me num Araba Banzen pills na minti pain be a stop it pain no mojane su flow be a clean call a year pharmacy shop drugstore be a nekoto Araba Banzen pills afei mema no so we be mana untumi nyunso ye kakra bi anajo so de wodun so aketua bi neba ye kanfo hunchun capsules ama hunchun capsules adrum etu eye prostatitis ya de afi mema bebre so for 0244 139 176 ubenya bi ato pharmacy shop any drugstore bi emo ora Mohammed Danga one wo yire congratulations on your 7th anniversary. May the Almighty Allah continue to protect you and your children and your marriage. Onyankopon enhyira mo pa. Prophet David Nana Kena ene your birthday. Prophet David Nana Kena, happy birthday to you. Me ankasa me prophet. Oil Fields Ministry. Prophet David Nana Kena ene your birthday. Yemao a happy blessed birthday. My prophet Nyankopon enhyira onbon ho ban onma kwatenten ombie wani ewo sunsumu na onda niema bebra ehinta di emfanchero. Prophet David Nana Kena of Oil Fields Ministry, happy blessed birthday to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello Monica, can you come over?
Mrs. Odelia Sika Intiamwa Buampon, a entrepreneur or a TV and radio news reporter over the years. She covered the Togolese election 2015 and cover international conferences with Why documentary? In fact, the documentary there, Wankasa Obeyada. Why documentary ama World Bank, IFDC, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Energy. Why TV presenter? Why African news presenter? Euro News. Why correspondent? Eddie Amawam in Ghana news anchor. Why reporter? TV3. Twice were winning Ghana Journalist Award winner. She won the Minister's Award in Environmental Reporting. TV3 or hosted Mission Ghana, a social news program that focuses on lapses in the health and educational sector. And Euro News, Africa News, a correspondent for Ghana. She turned television into content provision. Hosted Health Plus One, a private health program. Social Connect, social projector, a boy entrepreneurs, and giving back to society with 20 young girls in business trends in Africa. She holds a master's degree in oil and gas communication from University of Cape Coast and Bachelor of Arts degree in geography from University of Ghana. Menene baba twetwen komo e de afa dwumedia eba so a year on the 8th to the 10th of December. That was the forecourt of the State House. Your friend no a year She Expo. Now She Expo a annual event. Oxford African Women Leadership Institute. Ede eba. Odelia, ya mo akwa babio.
Ya nua.
Nampo mo te saying.
Boko.
Your energy, your passion, and your zeal, Debia may admire, even from afar. And Ukunusu there, or your brother, so I wouldn't. me share the way I only ukunumo partner mo ye nyuma. I'm so I'm excited to see couples working together. In your case, what will media mo ache, why ye juma che e media space mo. And then they will call into entrepreneurship and into training capacity building na. And this actually expo jumedi ebaso.
Time and I'm head of business for the multimedia group, no, and me notice say we nipa mo kasa mo amuyo munyuma now kasa opese oni omo e kasa o radio so ana TV so a we nipa no oha dodo na e be pese oba be kasa e wo radio so ana TV so be ye mema we mo enchemu nkron ana say we edu ni nyina kra wo mu na be ye mema eti it got me curious na me frase se me bisa me ho say adena ma na mpese o mbepi adena ma no den potin ene wo e ma no ho a wo mo bre e wadwuma a wo mo yemu na wa onim se e ma yenwuma doso yehwe nkwala yehwe kunu yehwe efie aduane eto san de wadwuma wa business ka ho a otu se e ma no nwuma no dodo na ye nkete a chese wo mo de e ka dwuma mo ye no ho e dia support bibi enti na se ye tumi e de enyo bi gu akwan mu a e betimi de aboa e ma eye omo nwuma eti Oxford Africa Women Leadership Institute yes setting it up senior e betimi e de aboa e ma no e wo baby miensa nia obroni beka say access to finance say bia oba bi oye na adwuma wo pesika bi dia ka na adwuma no ho ama adwuma no mu atra eno eye ade ba ko a ye hwe e wo adwuma no mu say bia access to market say bia oba bi raise opportunity bia o wetimi de aton ne neoma waye neoma na wie nanzo onya atofo eti ye boa e masa nipa no etumi enya na sa and afi technical support and say capacity building obroni beka na say enchechere a ye wetimi di akyerɛkyerɛ ɛma no ama adwuma na ɔmo yɛ no adimu eti ye hwɛ ya na ɛma no ɛba on board no niama ye hu ye ne sɛ access to market na ma ne se ehia ɔmo pa a kyese ohwɛ financial institutions ɔmo adwen nyina ne sɛ o ɛma na ipeska e de ahyɛ ɔmo adwuma num na so sɛ adwuma ne nyina na ɔmo ntimi ntɔn de ɔmo ayɛ no a ɔmo yɛ den epeska de hyem eti na access to market no ehia ɔmo eti ye program ba ko to test the waters na ye hu sɛ ye expo na ye no na ma ne se wo mutimi eton neoma embo ho emprenso eti na se ye tirem na more emma etimi eba ebeton mo neoma enu ti ne ye shi expo na de bia ye expo no a ye bie ma ne mema a ye ntimi concentrate enhwe ne ma no etumi eye ena sa shi expo we nso so eye mra yetimi ede kire enwuma a ewo Ghana de fi amano ne ene Ghana kroimu a womo se womo bo ma no ye pese omo be kire dia omo ye a omo se womo de bo ma na wo hwa organizations bebre ekasa de we eti ye ton stands no e de amasa organizations no ama watunya ba aba kire impact stories and I say dia womo ye a womo se aye adwuma no omo mra na omo mede ebe chichi mu na utumi say organizations dodo na efre ebisa o ewobi wo hwa no ato stands be say 2015 ne ade you expect say betimi di emma a omo run your own business be say 400 aba 4 court of state house ne be say e kire wiase afa na nyina say emma ekaso omo ye adwuma wo mbetimi aye wo mu hia aboafo de na nso so adwuma de wo mu gusu a wo mo ye
Emma eye wankasa adwuma ehia aboafo de but wo mo ye adwuma na according to the researcher yenuaba Mrs. Odilia inti amuabuampon aye ene se ema ne hia access to market ema bebre ye niema sonko e wo Ghana ha omo pe adwatonfo omo pe wona ebeton niema no de ama eno nti eno wode eye shi expo dwumadi eba nti utie a eye on the 8th to the 10th of December with the krumpe the forecourt of the State House, baby a Parliament House, enim honoa, and this Igradata Kesi Eba, the forecourt of the State House. It be away seminar, be away and tardy, be away beats, be away bag, be away pub, be away palm nema, be away wig, be away cosmetic products, per se unya access to market and for a who near maybe now almost so ebeto ebebo almost so better near mana as I said oba a year she expo jumedia ebaso on the 8th to 10th December on the 8th to 10th December now any just say our parliament enimti wahwe na minister bi wachiano MP bi wachiano akase honorable ene ma me yeni me pe access to international market me pe boafo me yoba me woma me de me nso me yeni me ntumi nkwaje store ewo more me ntumi nkwaje shop kese me ye wo me fie nkakra me den na me niam atumi akọ overseas. We NTNR Oxford Africa Women Leadership Institute this she expo eba said your car no ema bomb homoden ema ye omankasa modwuma nanso akasa omonema omoton no ebenya access to markets nkofo betina omaton. Okay, good. Odelia, so far interested participants are omo badwumadi mu ebi efihi then sectors then industries areas. Okay,
collect g data ni free ema na hono ye community ni ye 3,000 ema 3,000 majority no free Ghana but other countries no 36 other countries eka ye ho na enyuma ema no no enyuma be se enson contractors doctors any nurses omo eyusu omo professional ye omo side business apart from some ye government work no it's medical field for omo cosmetics enso omo apparel industry enso and omo so agribusiness enso it's about 7 sectors of the economy and baba bechre dia womoye na other organizations so womo so eso yasne eboa emani bi ama womo so aba outimi ade omo dwadie no ababa be tu edwa no enso so eboa different sectors of the economy na sector bi a womo boa pa agribusiness
me hu se eniam bi sisi wanim obetumi dia chair your camera chair some of the products and omo ye we den
enti we ne ye bag me no kasawia me de mama de akoma oyire because senior oyeye kokokoko no okra bag ka ho a ebe fata no enti no ebinum ye bag se international standard
enti we obi ye Ghana
we Ghana ni na ye chese ye work card kra edemu a show how to treat the bag.
Wow.
Into ono so na aye we ya me be ya match me shoes ya me share
This is beautiful.
Talk bags wa Ghana in fact
tag brand tag
mo bo ho say and apart from that no crap no card be dem send your bag ne
it's bag we ya Ghana
yeah wa Ghana chese send your bag ne tie no wo di support
so talking about access to markets Ghana for your near FSA any shops akesi mu how do they get access to this malls and shops
enti adwuma no ye no ba konso ne se ye gi ema ne nyoma no ne ye de ahwehwe market ama omo se ne ometin aton mo
nyankopon hira pa
eti no ye adwuma no ba ko a ye eti say no yetimi e de ma no ebi enyoma eko Shell Ghana
then na wafa sisi ai
we wo Tom Brown ya da bia wudi yo ene an kama say wo
enye foreign imported
there be mpacho e Ghana ni na ye
we
ai tea so sa we so ye hibiscus tea no so Ghana ni a na ye we body lotion no so Ghana ni na me ba no mpaboa me share no eno abi ni
we mpaboa
mpaboa chese me
Wow.
Nti I had to set ballerina shoes. Ti say oba baby esa ballet wait me to be a man but wait me a no any other day so me be no be na me share and na we so ye tea and so Ghana ni ana ye me niama na me de buy ni nyina ye Ghana for niama but me pese me ka say o ebia we oba o wo foreign goods a wo pese no so o beton wo expo na se a ye mfa enkame ye bie pro no e de ma but
for number mine obi a wutie en bia why you know made in Ghana products and I say Uton nema wa import she expo ma trade expo kesia edi man nyina ba together na yape ekwan a mobenya akwanya de mo nema akọ market akọ say stores so say shops so say malls so are you doing this in partnership with any ministry, any sector, agency, developmental partner?
So far no dia obroni ka say bootstrapping say wa do sika a share dwumanum wo ye nanso so yenya a lot of interest from both local and international organizations who say dia no it's actually the solution for businesses. It is so far no expo say GIZ ato stands ni bi ama money be other
local industry enterprise be ono ankasa betumi aba stand ni bi
I obia only a community nim say me can say ye community 3,000 no so wo your ba na person wo be ka community ni ho a
say odi ka be ka community no
ye be pro na ma wo ba ebia na wo nka community ni ho ba pese wo be exhibit e wo program na se eno so ekwan da ho e ma wo enti no for people within their community no any those outside the community by me de say wo your ba wo ye wa business wo betimi abeka ye ho esan say ye doso a ye ko baabi ni ye ko kan asem a ye tie yen since say ye be ko Ankra and because of that no ebie pono bebre aman Ghana Exim Bank for example almost all of them Exim Bank for shop African trade house baby AFCFTA for one Exim Bank for shop no more yetimi etoton ne maybe pa ho Shell Ghana so age enyoma ni bi amayen enti no opportunities but there be
Ghana and the United States of America signed a trade treaty agreement known as Kofa Agua by opportunity growth of Africa, a trade agreement between Ghana and United States of America. How are you taking advantage of this trade agreement to get access to the American market?
America First Time Organization be your friend or Owit. Na the last time in American ambassador Ekasai and Okase yene Owit for enya juma mum na yentimi MBA ekwan ema no 18 for money no enko America na usually so person do niama ko America sa no ye on cheche kakra say otiase enti yeguso a yene American related nyumaku a womu pia amia nkofo edi omonioma akọ American market yeguso a ye ne omo edi nsawoso eti from next year no one of your major activities as an organization say yebeboa na emana to nyoma akọ places like American embassy for any yen adwuma bom no omo de nkofo bi ekọ America for franchising womo baaye ebehu yen emema omo 12 members womo ye community ni mo se womo form nko America na womo konso womo san beji ye niam ni bi e de ko America for sa franchising conference no eti ye nam kwan mu a yeguso a ye adwo.
I like the way Okasa say yen omo ba yen ho Okasa say because oye a leader of women community global director Edema Oxford Africa Women Leadership Institute Mrs. Odelia Intiamwa and this year I had the opportunity to attend Forbes 30 Under 30 Africa Summit and Gaborone in Botswana. And it was amazing. Nema Bibria, Ema and creating markets for African women. And then Bibi Sonko in the area of renewable energy. Are we getting women interested in this area?
Area be a man no norso. Na your community omu ba omu nsheda norso. Sa because investments no in that area no na investments are so kakra. Aha na senya me di kan no e man dodo na nwuma no nye akese. But se omunya support no a omuzo metia deliver on some of the work there. It's usually na omu cook stove space nimu, but there are few others so a omu per funding omu ye niama ni bi a on per funding akese e dia shim amemu atre, but no krene say omu no so.
Have you missed media?
In fact, we buy an interview presidential candidate no, and we say ho bisamikuno ma sending the questions be we say if can be a one can maybe send a few other questions and the account.
You say now says now okay cow. I say what cow will near maybe no unya na go puti be a man. And I never be a hawk can ya na me person me fact checking because facts ni be no more nya ACC so yes you funny sir obi TSC no person join mo community no ba o ye no ankasa na adwuma number be no betumi afre
obetumi afre yen e wo 0244 604224 044 604224 and friend was number no so na say or send a WhatsApp e wo number no so a e betimi do no aka community no na nti ye bo community ni ho ban senia fraudsters ni omo a omo nhye daanye nti e be se bisa onsemfo bi kakra ansa na se wo yi ya no a ne ama ye forms no a wo fele no e boa yen e me etimi boa because enye forms ni mu ne ehunu say 1,250 women-led businesses ewo Ghana has say enye sika ena eye topmost priority for them no omo produce omo pe baby aton enti topmost priority no access to market and sana access to finance aba no na ye quality data no na it was about 38.5%. It's now sure oba community no na wa mayen sa data no a o kamoyen na o di bibi so kame wan kasa ho
Mrs. Odilia
no me pesa me sa ka say oba join community na untua bibia
okay
free community na wo join na mmom no se ebia ye je oniama si e de kohwehwe baabi e de wakọ market no mu no a esan se menton fuel na menye fuel no eti na no ye third party resources a ye hia e de aye adwuma no ti no de ye be ju sika e wo ho
na wo de pay access to the market
they pay access to market na amount market me wa ye de outside Ghana and also so ye be ju ho sika
okay nti said ye ote no Mrs. Odilia Ntiamoa ena Otene Nkano oye global director edema Oxford Africa Women Leadership Institute na omo create community of ma eyo omo akasa edwuma omo ye be say 3,000 ebifi other countries nurses ma contractors engineer omo ye agri businesses ni ade nyina omo on the 8th to 10th December State House Parliament anymore omo bodwa data kese trade expo kese oton safre obia se ombrebi oye oba na pese oba join omo community na for 0244 604224 0244 604224 ebusuafo ha ene de ene dwumadi no ebesi meda producer Godwin Dogbe ase na fin so DJ Young Boy